Hello my friends, and welcome to today's lesson. This is gonna be part 1 in a series of lessons where I go through how to get started playing in open tuning and playing slide guitar. So some people seem to think that if you want to get into slide and open tuning, you need to get a special guitar and have a special setup or get some special set of strings, which is really not the case. This is something you can do with any electric guitar with just a standard setup and a standard set of, 10 to 46 strings like I have on this one. So this is my Epiphone SG that I kind of learned to play on, and the setup is pretty basic. It's just medium action, and I have a set of Diodario 10 to 46 strings on it. So there's nothing special about this guitar. So here's how we go from standard tuning to open E. The open E tuning is called open E because it consists of the notes of the open E chord. So if we want these notes to ring when we play our open strings, if we look at this chord, we're gonna have to raise our G string a half step, our D string a whole step, and our A string a whole step. So the goal is we want to hear these notes when we play this. So let's start by raising our third string a half step to a major third, and raising our fourth string a whole step, and we can use the low E as reference and then just go tune that up to E also, but the octave above. So these two are now the same note, and then we're gonna tune the fifth string up a whole step also. And now we're in open E tuning. Just gonna double check it with my tuner and then we'll get going. So in order to understand the open tuning, it's really good to know which part of the chord each open string is, and we're gonna give them numbers. The first one is our root, that's gonna be a 1. Fifth string is the fifth of the chord, that's gonna be a 5. And the fourth string is another root note, so that's also a 1. Third string is the third of the chord, so that's gonna be a 3, and the second string is another fifth, so that's gonna be a 5, and the first string is another E note, so that's gonna be a 1. So the formula of this tuning would be called like 1 5 1 3 5 1. So 1 5 1 3 5 1. So you see how this tuning is made up of several of the same notes. So we have 3 root notes and we have 2 fifths. And this is something that we're going to come back to later that is going to be really helpful to know. It's also really good to be aware of the intervals between the strings. So in standard tuning we have pretty much fourths between each string, except for the G and B string, which is a major third in between. But in the open tuning we have a lot more different intervals. So we have a fifth between string 6 and 5. And then we have a fourth between string 5 and 4. Between string 4 and 3 we have a major third. Between string 3 and 2 we have a minor third. And then between string 2 and 1 we have another fourth. And these are also going to come in handy later, so they're really good to know. So to get started in the open tuning, I'm going to show you how to play a basic rhythm part for a 12-bar blues, and also we're going to do a little turnaround lick in the end in the style of Elmore James. We're going to basically be playing on strings 6 to 3. So we're going to start with this open voicing, and it's going to sound like this. So for the second voicing here that I'm alternating in between, I'm using my first finger on the first fret on the third string, and I'm using my middle finger on the second fret of the fifth string. So it sounds like this. And we do that for 4 bars. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the A chord. So that's gonna be just a bar form here. So we're just gonna bar our first finger, And now we're gonna play the same thing but starting from here. So we're gonna use our middle finger and ring finger to do that same. So we're starting with just the bar chord, and then for this one I'm adding my middle finger on the 6th fret of the 3rd string, and then I'm adding my ring finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string. So, and we're gonna do that for 2 bars, and then go back to the first E rhythm thing. So for bar 9 and 10 of this 12 bar blues, which consists of the 5 chord and 4 chord for 1 bar each, we're gonna start by going up to the 7th fret and doing that same rhythm pattern that we did on the 4 chord for 1 bar, and then we move it down to the 4 chord here on the 5th fret and do the same for 1 bar. And here comes a little turnaround thing in the style of Elmore James. So we go. That's just a classic Elmore James lick. So what we're doing is we're starting on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and we're alternating by playing our top E string. And we're doing this descending line in the style of Robert Johnson and Elmore James, and all the old blues guys did these type of turnaround lines. So from bar 9. And this is all in the tab below. You can download that, you can print it, go practice. So just to demonstrate, I'm gonna play the whole rhythm part together, and you can follow along in the tab if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're moving on to the 4 chord for 2 bars, back to 1. Now to 5 and 4 and turn around. Alright, so that's it for part 1 of the open tuning course, and next we're gonna look at how to apply the slide for the open tuning, and we're gonna play some scales with it, so don't miss that. Alright, take care.